Hello everyone, welcome back. Please comment, rate, subscribe, folks. Comment, rate, subscribe, like the videos. Also share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like, watch, and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen folks, there's a link tree down below. Has the link to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there, follow me across all my social media platforms and talk to me because I talk back. Also down there as well as the links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all of my YouTube pages, and turn on your notifications so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Also, Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we'll be sitting down and we'll be talking Jets, okay? We'll be sitting down, we'll be talking Jets, we'll be talking about the team. OTAs is here. We'll be covering a lot of things, asking a lot of questions. So please call in. I take live callers. I go back and forth with a lot of people talking about this team and what's going on here and how the team can get better. So please call in. I love going back and forth with folks. So with that said and done and put to the side, all right, it is time to talk about the New York Jets quarterback position. And I think a lot of people aren't talking about this as well, as should the New York Jets bring in a veteran QB, okay? I'm going to start with this. You look at the situation that we have here. We've drafted Zach Wilson from BYU. I like the kid. Great arm. A lot of things we're looking to get out of him. This is Joe Douglas's stamp on the franchise. This is him getting his guy. He's got his coaching staff. He got Sulla. He's got his front office, all the guys that he brought in there. Here's the guy that we brought in. Here's the franchise quarterback. Here's the guy that he wanted to draft. We moved on from Sam Darnold, okay? So I look at this situation and I say, okay, well, what can we do to continue to help Zach Wilson grow and groom and mature as a young quarterback? If you look at what Sam Darnold had his first year, he wasn't given a lot. He wasn't given a lot when he was here, but one of the things that he did have was a veteran quarterback helping him. Josh McCown was here helping Sam Darnold, the second that Sam was here. And one of the things, even though we have a new coaching staff with Mike LaFleur being brought in and a new offense and all that stuff, one of the things that people talk about all the time is that players, the guys on the field, often see things completely differently or see more things more in depth than coaches do, or even some of the guys up in the booth, some of the coordinators. Players can see things that those guys cannot. Players can communicate with each other and talk about concepts and what they're seeing out there and relate to each other a little bit easier than the coordinators and the coaches, to players. So what we often saw with Sam Darnold when Sam Darnold was on the field, he would make a play or he would make a mistake and he would immediately come off the field and McCown was in his ear immediately. McCown would be asking him questions. Hey, what did you see? What's going on out there? Why'd you throw that there? Especially, when he made a play that would go back and forth. McCown would also, talk to him about, what he saw out there, what he should have done, or, another play that could be out there, or, maybe an audible will work here. They would just go back and forth, and immediately you would see it every time. They would be sitting on the bench together. They would be going over stuff together. He would be in his ear going back and forth. And so that made Sam, we started to see flashes and things, come out of Sam before eventually things kind of fell apart with Adam Gase and we moved on from him. And so I look at Zach Wilson coming here, I'm looking around and I'm saying, okay, well, who does Zach Wilson have to go to in this? Who's his veteran quarterback that's going to help him come along, outside of the solid coaching that we have? Who's the player that's really going to kind of push him and help him here? And I'm looking at these current backup QBs, and I'm not trying to disrespect anybody, but listen, we got James Morgan as one of the backups. I like James Morgan. You drafted the guy recently. Here's a guy that's coming in, and we're excited about him, but he's done nothing. He sat on the roster for a year and didn't play at all. There's big question marks surrounding him, whether he, can really do what we need him to do. Hell, last year, a lot of people were screaming for him. They were saying, listen, sit Flacco down, sit Sam down. Let's put Morgan out there and see what he does. And he was just a healthy scratch all year. We never saw anything out of him. So coming into this year, it's like, okay, well, here he's coming, and he's going to, basically coming off a redshirt year, he's coming in, he's going to have to learn a whole new offense as well. Can we depend on him? Is he the guy that's going to help, groom and mold Zach? He's still kind of learning himself. Then you look at Mike White, who a lot of people don't groom. He doesn't, bold a lot of confidence in people as well. So there's just big time questions there, big time questions, because you want that veteran quarterback, that rock there within the offensive, room, within that QB room, to really help out young quarterbacks. Also, as well, a big thing to veteran quarterbacks too. And one of the reasons why I really like having them on the squad is because if you get yourself a good, solid veteran quarterback, not only can they help your young QB learn the system, but they can also help if your young QB misses some time, they can keep your offense afloat. And you don't fall off of a cliff. Okay, you look at there's a lot of teams in the NFL that have lost their starting quarterback, but still been able to achieve things in the league because their backup quarterback was able to come in and put them in positions to win. Didn't make big mistakes, made the plays that were there, and kept their team in contention. So when I look around, I say, okay, well, who's still out there that can come in, that we could bring in, that can bring that to us? And one of the names that's out there is Nick Foles. Listen, Nick Foles is on this Bears squad right now. They brought in Andy Dalton. They really made a big time trade to move up to get Justin Fields in the draft after he started sliding. And a lot of people are looking around saying, hey, this guy is kind of the odd man out here. Some people say the Bears may release him and move on from him. Some people say the Bears would be more than willing and open to trade for him. If you look at Nick Foles, he's one of the guys that really adds to my take that, hey, you get a solid veteran quarterback and your team can be okay, because he was in Philadelphia when they won that Super Bowl. That was the guy that was in the helm of that offense. He was the guy running the offense when their starting quarterback went down. Doug Peterson was able to revamp his system around Foles' skill set, and Foles kept it moving. They did the Philly special, they did all that, and they won themselves a ring, okay? When everybody was counting Philadelphia out when their starter went down, Nick Foles kept them afloat. That speaks to the importance of having a veteran quarterback, a solid backup quarterback on your roster. And so when I look at the situation, he's with the Bears. I don't know if I necessarily want to give up, big compensation for him. I don't want to do that. But maybe if the Bears want to give up a 7th-round pick for Nick Foles, I'd be open to it. But I know that there's a lot of people out there, and I'm kind of more in the mind of just waiting to see what the Bears do. Just kind of folding my arms, stalling him out, and saying, okay, are you going to release him? Because a lot of people are saying that they probably will release him, and he'll be the odd man out there. Again, with them paying Andy Dalton how much they're paying him, and then with them making the move and getting Justin Fields, which was a big stock in the draft. So Nick Foles is a guy that I definitely will be looking at and bringing in here. Another guy that I would look at, Nick Mullens. Nick Mullens. Okay, this guy was a 49er, okay? Let me tell you something. The big thing about bringing in Nick Mullens is Nick Mullens knows this system, okay? He knows the Shanahan system. He knows the Mike LaFleur system. Dude like the back of his hand. It's just easy peasy for him. He's been in it. He's done his thing. This is a guy that can come in and immediately help Zach Wilson right off the bat. He can help him learn the system on the field, come off the field into the film room. He can help him. He knows the system, point blank, period. The big question about Mullens is he has an elbow injury, and he had surgery on that elbow recently. So you just got to wonder, okay, where is he within his healing process? Is he going to be good? Can he come in and really contribute if we need him to? If his name is called, is he going to be solid? So if he checks out physically, though, and that elbow is good, Nick is definitely one of the guys that I'll be interested in again. Again, he's not going to blow you away. You know what I'm saying? He's not, a star-studded QB, but he can come in and be a very solid backup in this league. So those are two guys that I would definitely look at, that I'd definitely be interested in. Matt Barkley is another guy that I would be interested in as well if he's still out there. But looking at that backup QB position, we definitely have to address this. And I know a lot of people talk up James Morgan, and I know Joe Douglas has talked up James Morgan, but until that guy does something, you know what I'm saying, until he really steps in and we see something out of him, there's big question marks there. So please comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. How do you folks feel about the backup QB position? Do you folks have big time confidence in James Morgan? Do you folks just want to see us roll into the season with him? Would you be interested in trading for Nick Foles? Or are you willing to wait for the Bears to release him? Or what are your thoughts about Nick Mullens? How do you feel about him? Also, how do you feel about Matt Barkley? Would you be interested in Barkley for the Jets to go after Barkley and sign him? So please comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. I'm going to go back and forth to you. You folks have a good one. Peace.